morning, I'm Jane Morgan, Director and Founder of JMM, and today I am joined by CEO of Elsight Limited, Yoav Amitai. Good morning, Yoav.
Hi Jane, great to be here.
So Elsight has transitioned significantly since its IPO in 2017, from audio and visual transmissions to leading the beyond visual line of sight, BVLOS communications market. So can you discuss strategic decisions that guided this shift and how they align with Elsight's long-term vision?
Absolutely. So Elsight, initially when we IPO'd, we were a broadband communication system, then it was more of a project company and not really a product company. Over the years, we figured out that if we want to grow the business and get it to its full potential, what we have to do is to create a very clear roadmap of where we are going, how we're going to get there, and what is our unique value proposition to get there. So what we did, we kind of pivot the business to be more focused on specific industries where we have the biggest value proposition. So it was a long shift of technology shift and also business shift that we've done over the years. But I think today, 3.5 years after this transition, we can gladly say that it was a very good decision to make because we see the business growing month over month, quarter over quarter, year over year. Overall, we can say that was a good decision to make.
So can you elaborate on the capabilities and technological advancements of your flagship product, which is Halo? And so what makes it the preferred choice for UAV manufacturers and operators across the globe?
So the Halo, essentially, it's a platform that creates what we call connection confidence, meaning we want to connect everything that needs to be connected in the most reliable way. Our approach to the problem or the challenge of communication, which is a massive challenge, we can speak about many different examples. Even in Australia, think about the Optus outage in last November with what happened throughout the country and how you ensure that everything that must be connected will be connected. And the way we're solving it is that by not utilizing only one infrastructure or relying on single infrastructure, but trying to rely on every infrastructure that is available. So whether it will be cellular, satellite, new ones and old ones, point-to-point RF, different type of communication links, our software, our algorithm, the brain of the system basically manage all those interfaces in different ways, essentially to provide what I called before the connection confidence, making sure that those platforms will be connected to the operator or to the control centers. So one of the key enablers for this industry, as you mentioned before, the BVLOS, beyond visual line of sight industry, is how to maintain a reliable communication between the operating system, centers, and all the drones that will travel around for whatever mission it have to perform. So the communication is a critical element there, both from regulatory perspective, but also from operational perspective. And what we provide to those service providers and those OEMs is to make sure that they will be always connected. And that's what bring them to us today, is we are well known in this industry. I think today our name, if you ask someone that is a player in the industry, he probably know about Elsight. Either he worked with us in the past, will work with us in the future, or working with us at the present. So yeah.
Well, look, that leads me to my next question. So, look, Elsight has established partnerships with over 70 drone and UAV manufacturers and operators worldwide. So, how do these collaborations enhance Elsight's market position? And look, are there new partnerships that we should be looking forward to in the near future?
Yeah, so first of all, the numbers today are more than 100 partners that what we call design win partners, meaning that they're designing their system around our platform, our Halo, which that's our go-to-market strategy basically, because once an OEM, think about a drone manufacturer that based their system on our solution, and put all the regulatory effort to do all the certification, everything, which is long and expensive processes, doing all the engineering integration, flight test, everything that is related to integrate new system, then we consider it as a design win. meaning that as long as this company, this OEM or service provider will operate or sell their drones, we will be part of their bill of material, part of their BOM. And that's our go-to-market strategy. I think one of the key news, in my opinion, in our last quarterly report that was just out a few weeks ago, is that of those more than 147 customers have submitted orders within the quarter. And that exactly shows what is the growth trajectory of Elsight. Of each one of those more than 100 design wins partners represent the tip of an iceberg for us, because as long as they grow their business, we are growing ours. So that's basically our go-to-market, and that's why it's so important. And we're continuously adding more and more partners. Looking into the future, we are looking to announce about some of the new ones in the market. It's definitely, we see the pace continues as we saw it in 23, continues into 24.
Well, thank you, Av. And it's something that we obviously don't want to bring up, but drones have obviously taken a prominent role in conflicts around the world at the moment. So how do you feel this has taken an impact on the business?
So companies that today are in the drone market, whether they are from counter drone systems or drone systems, cannot just disregard what's happening in the homeland security and defense market today related to drones and everything, all the conflicts that are happening, as you said. I would say that the Elsight approach is also kind of knowing what's happening there, participate where we think it's good to be part of it, and how to solve or how it can affect our business. So the bottom line, we spoke about it, or we mentioned it in our quarterly and last year report. It has been good for the business, these all changes that are happening, trying to be on the good side, but that's definitely part of the business.
Okay, so looking ahead, you just mentioned this. So what are the next big steps for Elsight in terms of product and innovation development? And are there upcoming enhancements to Halo or new products in the pipeline that investors should be aware of?
So as a tech company, as a tech-led company, we're constantly developing and investing in R&D, research and development, to make sure that we are staying in the forefront in the industry, keeping our technology or product competitive advantage. So we are constantly releasing versions of the Halo. We basically took the Tesla approach, if you will, that we have the same hardware, the same Model 3 or whatever, and then build a software stack on top of it that will provide more and more features and services to our clients. So we have different type of trajectories or initiatives that we're doing there. Some of them we already announced that will bring us into new markets. Some of them haven't been announced yet, but we are working behind the scene on new development and broaden our product portfolio. And from technology perspective, I think we have a lot of value to unlock to our customers. And we fortunately, part of some of the biggest projects that are currently happening in the world, like the Walmart delivery in the States or Speedbird in Brazil or others. So being there and understanding how the industry is going to look like in the future and what will be the needs of our customers and partners in terms of what they do, that's what basically put us in a very nice position of understanding the market needs and what are the technological solutions that we can provide them to solve those challenges.
So you have just spoken about, opportunities that are in terms of the drone industry. Do you want to just give us a little bit of insight? You mentioned just now about, Walmart delivering opportunities. Tell us, where do you see the industry heading?
So in my vision, or in our vision in Elsight, it's absolutely the commercial market that will lead this industry or this new technology, and not the military one. I mean, for us, it's there right now, but it's clearly we will move into a position that the commercial market will become much, much bigger. So this infrastructure or those new platforms, let's call it the drones, will do more good than not good in the world in terms of how we commute, how we get our deliveries, how we tackle climate changes problems like wildfires and detections and others, shark attacks, whatever. There are so many applications and use cases that can be done in a much more efficient and productive way that will put this industry on the pedestal and will take it to a major growth. So for us, the main market is for sure the commercial market. This is where we invest most of our time, effort, and funds and capital, because we clearly understand that in the long term, this industry will become the new infrastructure of the world. And a good thing that I'm giving sometimes is currently we're in the situation of where the automotive industry were, call it 150 years ago when it just started, and everyone said, you bunch of crazy guys, why we need cars? We have horses on the streets. And right now we are part of those crazy bunch of people that are saying, well, we have an unutilized dimension in the sky, why don't we use it for different use cases? So that's where we are. And for me, or for us and the team of Elsight, I would say that it's very exciting to be part of this industry in this stage of literally pioneering a new infrastructure of the world, which will do much more good than bad in the future. So that's my view on it.
Do you want me to go more into, we obviously spoke about in the US, they've obviously got these drone delivery services now. Do you want me to, I know we talked about pioneering this, but a lot of these users might want to know about comps that they could probably look at. Is that something you want to talk about?
What do you mean, comms?
Or like the comps. So, anybody else that's kind of doing this drone delivery service is something we potentially might be able to do.
We can talk about different use cases that are currently done using drones. We can definitely mention that so people can look around and understand what are the big names there and what is done and everything. Yeah.
So Yoav, that's so interesting. You just kind of touched on this. So I think maybe just tell our listeners, what other use cases are drones actually used for globally rather than just defense?
So when I'm speaking with people, sometimes they think only about defense, or it's an extremely futuristic market that someday will happen, and they are extremely surprised when I'm saying that it's actually happening as we speak. So today, if you're living in the States, for example, there are 6 different states that Walmart provide the service of drone deliveries. If you ran out of diapers or ran out of beers for tonight's party and you want to get it as soon as possible, they have a 20-minute delivery with a drone. It will cost you $3.99. You literally get into the mobile app, order whatever you want to deliver, and it will get to your backyard, which sounds like something extremely futuristic, but that's happening as we speak. Same for defibrillator package delivery, for example, in Singapore, that people are something happening in the street and they need an immediate response. What is faster than a drone that just travel in the air, don't have any traffic problems or anything like that, be there. Same for, like I said before, inspection for power lines or grid lines. Instead of bringing up a full-size helicopter and put people in risk, why don't we use drones, which is actually in use today? So there are so many different applications that are currently happening as we speak and are not futuristic, that people are sometimes surprised about that. And I urge many of our listeners to go and look for it and see how much good this new infrastructure is doing, and not only what you hear in the headlines and the main headlines. So I think the industry is there and it's growing as it moves along. And it's exciting time to be part of this industry, to be honest.
It is very much. So looking ahead, regulatory approvals are crucial in the UAV and drone industry. So how is Elsight navigating the regulatory landscape, and what are the implications for the operations and your client certification processes?
So the regulatory in general, or the regulations in general, that's one of the bottlenecks of this industry today. And we see ourselves, Elsight or our Halo solution, as an enabler for these regulatory bodies throughout the world, and also the customer and partners of ours of how to get over those regulatory approvals. One good example is currently the only type certificate, which is the highest level airworthiness certification that was happening with drones in the FAA in the US Federal Aviation Authority, was done with one of our partners called robotics, when they got the first type certificate to be able to perform missions like data collection and those sort of missions. Which means that the type certification, just for our listeners to understand, it's the same process that a Boeing 777 or Airbus A380 is going through, which makes it very hard to go through. And right now, using subcomponents like the halo, the communication system, which, like I said before, it's very crucial element within those systems. And knowing that this system will help you go through all those regulatory approvals, that's also one of our key value to our customers, understanding that they have a system they can rely on. So I think regulatory or regulation is very important in such industries like the drone industry, because eventually they care about safety. They want all of us to be safe when we have drones or when we have cars driving next to us. Same for drones. So it is important. Currently, that's one of the bottlenecks of the industry. But I don't have a doubt that that will be open. Just a matter of time and working together, industry and regulatory bodies, to solve all their challenges and to make sure that that's the safest way to do those missions that I just mentioned before.
So look, Elsight is about communication, and currently you're focusing on drones, but what is the opportunity beyond drones for the technology?
So as I said before, the reason we got into the drone or uncrewed industry is because we felt that this is where we have the best, what we call product market fit, the best value proposition for this market. But clearly, when we're talking about today's connected world, everything needs to be connected, from us as a human being walking the streets up to the first responders or hospitals, or everything that needs to be connected in a very reliable way. So we are seeing an opportunity eventually of creating the most reliable communication systems that currently exist. So the reason we started with something small, because as a small company, you need to be laser focused on what you do and how you're going to achieve it. But it's clear for us that over time, once we have the dominance in the current industry, so starting to expand into new places, new industries, and what we can do there, that's the opportunity we sit on. And I can speak about so many different applications and needs in today's world. This interview is too short to mention all of them, but clearly having reliable communication is something very critical in today's world, and that's what we provide. Like I said, connection, confidence.
Well, look, Yoav, finally, tell us about the potential investors and current shareholders. What should we be looking out for over the next 3 to 6 months?
So first of all, like I mentioned, one of the key factors for me in the last quarterly activity report, was the fact that how many return customers have returned and submit orders, and that's what showed the growth over time. Besides that, like I said, I assume that in the next 3 to 6 months, we will show progress in different industries, like I mentioned, growing to other opportunities and make sure that we're taking over those opportunities. And basically that's what I, as an investor, would follow to see that the business health and the business growth and how we continue in growing the business. And the key factor to understand is the design win concept that I mentioned before, that each one of the new customers that we're announcing, meaning a tip of an iceberg for us to grow the business. And that's where we are currently focusing, besides focusing on technology advancement that I mentioned before, and broaden our product portfolio.
Wonderful. Well, thanks again for your time today, Yoav, and we look forward to hosting you again in the near future.
Thank you, Jane. It was great.